Hello all, welcome back to the final unit of module 1, and we'll deal with the part 1, reading the passage and answering the questions given below in this part. So let us look into the passage first. So the passage is taken from the source Our Films, Their Films by Satyajit Ray. It is the passage taken from your prescribed text. Read the passage given below and complete the exercises that follow. Once the casting is done, I am ready to plunge headlong into the business of shooting. The studios of Calcutta show their hallowed past in every crevice in the wall. Crevice means small openings or potholes. In every tatter on the canvas that covers the ceiling. A tatter also kind of stain or like a hole that is there in the canvas. Some of the families of rodents that inhabit the rafters have lived there ever since the foundation of the industry. Rodents means rats, mice, all those category of mammals in common are known as rodents. The floor is pitted. The camera groans as it turns. The voltage begins to drop after sundown. The general air of shabbiness is unnerving. Shabbiness means unclean or messy. Yeah. And yet I do not mind these at all. I do not think of these as hindrances. After all, we have the essentials to make a film, and it is within us to make it badly or well. It is the bareness of means that forces us to be economical and inventive and prevents us from turning craftsmanship into an end in itself. And there is something about creating beauty in the circumstances of shoddiness and privation that is truly exciting. Yes, I'm happy to be working where I am. So this is an autobiographical piece by Satyajit Ray about how his work went on, about his career, his profession, his shooting studio and all. I hope all the idea is clear. I have explained all those difficult terms and the sources also just mentioned there. Now we'll move on to the exercise part. So yeah, so the first question directly from the passage: plunge headlong into means that comes in the first line of your passage itself. Once the casting is done, I am ready to plunge headlong into the business of shooting. So from the sentence itself you can understand that that is to get involved fully. Your options are dive into water, bang your head, to get fully involved, none of the above. Definitely to get fully involved, because the sentence goes on like this: once the casting is done, I am ready to plunge headlong into the business of shooting. So to get fully involved in the shooting. Now coming to the next question: hallowed is closest in meaning to, and you can see that a word in the second sentence of the passage. The studios of Calcutta show their hallowed past in every crevice in the wall. It actually talks about the sacred past or holy. So the meaning is holy. Closest meaning is holy. Hallowed past means it talks about the sacred or kind of revered past. And more synonyms are sacred, consecrated, enshrined, seraphic, anointed, etc. Okay, now we'll move on to the next question. Dash is a synonym for creative. So for that you have to just look into the passage, and then you need to find what is a what is a word that is that can be equated to the word creative. So you can see that in the passage he talks about this inventive nature of or what this what kind of spirit a person need to take films or to do any kind of job. Towards the end of the passage, in the second last sentence, it is being said that it's the bareness of means that forces us to be economical and inventive and prevents us from turning craftsmanship into an end in itself. Economical and inventive, they need to be creative as well as since that is their beginnings, they need to be economical too. So creative has an equivalent termed as inventive. More synonyms: ingenious, fecund, germinal, seminal, quirky, etc. Now we'll move on to the fourth question. Another word from the passage that is close in meaning to shabbiness is. We have come across both the terms shabbiness as well as shoddiness. So it is the answer is shoddiness itself. As I mentioned, both the terms have the same meaning: meanness, messiness, filth, tawdriness, falsity, clumsiness, etc. You can find both the terms in the passage. The general air of shabbiness is unnerving. That is in the middle of the passage, and also towards the end of the passage you can see that. And there is something about creating beauty in the circumstances of shoddiness and privation. Now we'll move on to the next word, the very term that we used just now. Privation is a word related to privatization, privacy, piracy, deprivation. Of course, deprivation, because he talks about the problems he faced towards the beginning of his career. So definitely, because he talked about being the need to be economical, the need to be inventive in nature, to turn their craftsmanship, their spirit of creativity into its fullness. All these things he has explained. So definitely this privation means deprivation. Deprivation word meaning is poverty, loss, destitution, detriment, death, austerity, etc. I hope it is clear. We'll move on to the next question. Tattered. The word tattered is related to. I hope you remember the description of the room. Every crevice in the wall and every tatter on the canvas. So it is a term related to canvas, but actually the actual meaning here in this passage you can relate it to canvas since it is being written over there. Actual meaning of the word tatter is irregularly torn pieces of cloth, paper or other material. That is the actual meaning of the word tatter. And your and be careful when you answer, because your options have all these terms: paper, cloth, noise, music, etc. Anyway, there is a chance that you might get confused between paper and cloth, since the actual meaning of tatter is like that. So you have to come to the passage again and read, and here it is being mentioned that in every tatter on the canvas. That's why I have just given that in the brackets of cloth, tatter on the canvas. So tattered is related to, in this passage tattered is related to cloth. Now coming to the seventh question, the word opposite in meaning to the word pitted. So for that, of course, you need to know the meaning of pitted first. Pitted means scarred, blemished, pokey, potholed, uneven, etc. Because he is actually explaining the condition of that particular studio. Okay, so yeah, so definitely the meaning of that word pitted is smooth, because pitted means rough or full of holes. All these things, rough, full of holes, clean, everything. It won't be clean, of course, but you can relate it to that. We need to find in the word opposite. So rough, hard or smooth is the opposite of that word. Pitted means scarred, blemished, pokey, potholed, uneven, rough, etc. Now we'll move on to the eighth question. The antonym of the word economical is. Economical, of course, you know the meaning. Economical is cheap or affordable or inexpensive. So definitely from this options, or you can see the options like cheap, political, inexpensive, expensive. You need to find the antonym. That means opposite of the word economical. Definitely it will go to expensive. Okay. Since economical means cheap, the opposite of the word cheap is expensive. Now we'll move on to the next question. The word that is spelt correctly is. You can see quite a lot of terms that are wrongly spelt. So the only correctly spelt word is shoddiness. Okay, SHODDINESS. And first term privatization can be corrected by using the spelling PRIVATISATION. And craftsmanship, one S is missing, CRAFTSMANSHIP. Also crevice, CREVICE. Okay. And the last question, the word that is spelt wrongly is. Here there is only one mistake. Ceiling, voltage, business, everything is correct. Hindrance is wrongly spelled. Let us look into the correct spelling. Just look into the correct spelling only, otherwise you will make the mistake again. HindrancE. So here we come to an end to the first part of Unit 5. I'll be back with the lecture on the second part in the next video. Until then, take care. Thank you.